and we are here tonight with Freaky Fast Broadcasting and the Underdog Racing League season opener here for season 5 of the Xfinity Series here at the Talladega Super Speedway for the Twisted Metal 213. Thank you to the proud sponsor here at the Underdog Racing League of Ultimate Siding and Gutter LLC. Our customers say we're the best in the business. We specialize in residential and commercial construction. There's nothing more important to have a house to call a home. Thank you to Ultimate Siding and Gutter LLC for the sponsorship here at the Underdog Racing League. But we're here tonight at Talladega. Thank you, everybody, for tuning back in. We got 2 races left here in 2021 on Freaky Fast Broadcasting. Hope you all have had a wonderful holidays so far throughout December as we look to close out 2021 with a bang here with 2 final races here. As we got one here tonight with the Underdog Racing League and tomorrow night also live here at Freaky Fast Broadcasting. But I'm Zach Hall up in the booth. Joined alongside me, as always, on Wednesday nights is Carl Pooler, and we'll have our producer, as always, Robert Moyer Jr., up in the production box. Carl, we're back here to start off season number 5, my friend. After last season, Trevor Earhart still in the championship from Jason Finsler. We got some new faces out on the track also to start off the season. It's going to be a special one, and we've seen a wild start to the season with the clash last week at Rockingham.
Definitely, Zach, and I love being here. Love Talladega. Rockingham last week was amazing for their clash. Had a lot of good racing, a lot of fun driving. Awesome. We always are typical and used to having a super speedway to start the season, but Talladega is a little one-off. We know it's a little bit longer than the 2.5 miles of Daytona, a little bit wider. I know I was talking to some of the guys, and they're really excited and really pumped up for this race, so it's time to get the season going and wave the green flag.
Yes, we cannot wait to get this underway here tonight for 80 laps around the world's fastest super speedway, and that's the Talladega Super Speedway. Here they look to be heading off into qualifying here, Carl. They got 10 minutes to put down their fastest 2 laps possible and put themselves in pretty interesting spots. We've seen track position be a huge part of a lot of the other series here on Freaky Fast Broadcasting with the qualifying, especially even at the plate tracks. But I believe with these Xfinity cars, we're going to see a lot of passing tonight. This package here very suited for side-by-side racing, and I think it's going to be wild to watch. Nonetheless, to say, also got to remember I got that one fast repair also in case anything goes wrong for these drivers tonight.
It is definitely going to be wild. We know the big one can strike anytime at the super speedways, and track position really helps you avoid a lot of that situation. Of course, it can happen at the front, and sometimes it does with people racing for the lead, but definitely the further up you start and are during the race, it's definitely higher chance you can avoid that big one. So track position is going to be huge. I think strategy is going to play huge with the limited fuel window. I think it's 65%. So really, really going to be interesting to see how people play out this first race of season 5 at Underdog Racing League.
It will definitely be a special one to watch. To see if you guys looking to attempt some qualifying laps here to put themselves on the board here tonight as we watch them peel down the back straightaway of the 52 of David Buell. And it got a good roster here this season, 28 cars to start off the season. It's going to be a packed house here tonight at Talladega. Some new faces also that we had seen at the Clash last week, and also some new faces that we didn't see the Clashes last week, such as Mark Whitley, where we've seen him, multiple times throughout Freaky Fast be in different races, and also Martin Morales there throughout another league. And another name sticking there, James Catrone. I've seen that name before at Freaky Fast Broadcasting. So some new names out there that aren't new to Freaky Fast, but are definitely new to the Underdog Race League. And I think they're going to be a good mix to throw right into the bunch as we kick this season off.
Definitely exciting and refreshing seeing some new drivers in the league. 28 cars, really, really big, especially for this league. They usually average about 20, but definitely 28 is going to be huge. And it's going to be interesting to see how many of these newcomers will make a charge and mix it up with the likes of Jason Finsler, Trevor Earhart, all those drivers. So definitely going to be fun to watch all these drivers battle for the championship for the rest of the season.
Watching the 52 put down his first lap on the board. It goes up for Justice Murphy as it was quickly toppled by Blake Cook and Jacob Sekrovich there in the 3 and the 4 machine. So time's clicking in here now for the first time by. We could see that first time be the quick time. I have seen it before do that, but we'll see if anybody elects to get that second time as their quicker time at the moment as the times keep continuing to pour in here at the Underdog Racing League as we get ready to kick off our season number 5 first race of the season and last race of 2021. It's going to be a special one for these guys as they go to the new year and get this all kicked off.
And definitely look at Christopher Heights, wanted to end this year with a bang, qualifying 54.16 at first, edging Jason Fensler by just 100th of a second. So that's really exciting. Blake Cook, he's a newcomer from what I've seen in third. Jacob Sirkovich in fourth. Looks like a lot of these guys in the top 18 cars have all run a time 19 now. And there is Mark Whitley jumping to the top of the leaderboard. So definitely some of these new drivers have come to play and fight Jason Fensler already for the win.
Yeah, showing strong already here in the qualifying session. Mark Whitley in his debut here at the Underdog Racing League. Christopher Heights, remember he was a winner last season at Talladega here in the Xfinity car also, so we could see him position himself very well here in that 21 machine. Jason Fensler, multiple time winner last season, just a dominant performance. Didn't win that championship, but is right now third on the board to start it all off. And Justice Third are going to jump up to fourth on the board. Teammates with Jason Fensler, so teammates already starting close to each other. That's going to be a helpful hand.
Many hands make light work, and definitely good to have someone on your side, at least maybe trying to, get to the end result, at least be there at the end. It's always good to have a little bit of help on the push. Two cars do go faster than one around this track, so it's going to be interesting to see how the teams form up and how they line up, and really who's going to be there at the end of the race to see who can push who to the lead. I think whoever can have that teammate at the end, they are the ones who are going to be able to win this race.
Look at this. Joey Stiers jumps to the top of the board in the 23 machine. What a lap from him as he takes that top position. He showed strong in the clash last week at Rockingham. We could see him looking to start off the season well here at Talladega as we watch the 72. Douglas Wolcott put down his lap. Ooh, a little bit of a mistake there getting onto the apron. That's going to definitely check him up for that lap. Got about 5 minutes left here as we're halfway through this qualifying session with about 4 or 5 cars still yet to take time.
And I wonder how much of that is strategy, because some people's thoughts are start at the back, maybe ease up, don't be part of the real hard fighting in the beginning of the race. It could be just trying to already, you think some of these drivers think about fuel mileage, so being there in the pack using the draft definitely can save more fuel. So I wonder if some of these drivers that haven't put a time in, like Robert Rader, Twynham, Trevor Earhart, who just put his time in, so he's running, but 3 more cars still yet to qualify. Definitely interesting to see how they finish this session with about 4 minutes left to go.
That all was happening. Ray Lane goes to the top of the board in the 44 machine. Had a great season in the Xfinity car last season. Probably, really could have been in the fight for the title if he could have been able to make the whole season. And from what I heard earlier from talks, it sounds like he will be able to make this full season. So we'll see what type of threat Ray Lane will be throughout the whole entire season. So we're watching our defending series champion here. Trevor Earhart put down his second and final qualifying lap. The first one able to get him a 54.22 up to 14th. We'll see if the second lap can come around to be quicker. As Ray Lane, man, 400s quicker than anybody. That's an impressive lap from that driver. As here comes Trevor Earhart in the 25 machine across the line. Looks like he's going to stay in that 14th position as that first lap was faster.
Definitely interesting. We have some of the new drivers. Ray Lane, we saw him have speed last season. Joey Stiers is a newcomer. We saw him race at Rockingham, and he actually was up at the front until a couple mistakes kind of took him out of it. So definitely fun seeing him up there. Mark Whitley as well. Christopher Heights, again, he won Talladega last year. But Trevor Earhart starting 14th. That's going to be interesting as we go forward. And we know in the Rockingham, he went from last to first how many times. Definitely going to be fun to see him try that on the Super Speedway.
Oh, and another driver jumping up to second on the board. That's James Catrone. He's going to put himself up there in that 38 machine. What a lap from him as we look now at the 53 of Robert Rader. What a season he had. Also multiple wins for him in the Xfinity Series last season. We'll see what he can pull off here to start off Talladega this week here. Man, coming off the season he had, we'll see what he can produce this season. Is so many talented drivers here in the Underdog Racing League. It's going to be a fun season to watch it develop.
This is really exciting. A lot of talent, kind of, I can't say overflowing, but definitely filling the cup. And this is going to be some really great driving, watching all these guys really fight each other and push each other every single race and every single week. This is going to be a really exciting season. I know we haven't even thrown the green flag on the first race, but I'm just really excited and really hyped up for what we're about to see.
Yeah, definitely excited about tonight, but we're also excited for one of our first big events of 2022, and that's because we're going to be holding these 6 hours of Daytona for diabetes here on Freaky Fast Broadcasting. And that's going to be on January 7th, 2022. It's going to be a special time for us here as we have endurance racing style, IMSA style racing for 6 hours there at Daytona to raise awareness and donations for the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation. Something definitely close to our heart here at Freaky Fast Broadcasting. Remember, that's January 7th, 2022. That's going to be at 8 p.m. Eastern. The practice session opens. Our broadcast should be going live around 9 o'clock there Eastern. And it's going to be a fun 6 hours of battling, lots of hard racing all around the racetrack. Make sure if you want to tune in, you can subscribe here, first of all, to Freaky Fast Broadcast and hit that bell notification button to be notified when we go live each and every time. That'll help you there. But also, you can check out in the description below, we have the event details for the race that describes all of the ins and outs of that race, and also a sign-up form for if you want to get into that race. Right now, I believe we're around 37 of the 60 allotted teams. So right now, we're nearing that 40 team mark. Is definitely growing each and every day, and we're near. Tomorrow will be exactly 1 week from the cutoff for the deadline for signups. So make sure you go check those out if you are enjoying the action that we bring on Freaky Fast Broadcast, and you want to be a part of it here and raise awareness for the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation. It's right there. As I was speaking about our race there, second place, Robert Reeder in the 53. What a lap from him.
Definitely exciting. Looks like qualifying's about to wrap up. No more cars look to be on the track. We have Ray Lane starting first, Robert Rader second, James Catrone a great lap in third, Joey Stiers in fourth, and then we have Mark Whitley in fifth. So the top five all really fast, doing a 54 under 0.2 really. So really fast times right now.
Definitely quick times all throughout the board. There it is. That's the end of the qualifying session here tonight at the Underdog Racing League for the season opener here for the Xfinity Series for season number 5, as we'll be looking to pull up our starting grid here tonight and show you where your favorite drivers are starting from the grid. First place there's Ray Lane to start on pole position here this season. Second's going to go to Robert Rader. Third's going to be James Catrone. Fourth's going to be Joey Stiers. Fifth place, Mark Whitley. Sixth's going to go to Christopher Heights. Seventh's going to be Jason Fitzler. Eighth, Justin Stunner. Ninth's going to go to Blake Cook. And rounding out that top 10 is going to be Jacob Setrovich in the 3.
Starting in 11th, we have Martin Morales. 12th, Justice Murphy. 13th, James Loveland. 14th, Brad Ringer. 15th, Kevin Orlando Jr. 16th is Trevor Earhart. David Buell is in the 17th spot. Nick Alves in 18th. We have Eddie Wildermuth in 19th. And then Cody Dorsey starting in the 20th spot.
21st going to go to Dylan Walterman. 22nd going to be Parker Johnston. 23rd is going to be the 15 to John Magner. 24th Tyler Dingler, another newcomer here to the Underdog Racing League. 25th Peyton Presley. 26th is Scott Carberg. 27th Matt Job. 28th Douglas Wilcott. And rounding out your field in the 29th position here tonight is Ryan Twynham, your race sponsor here tonight for the Twisted Metal 213. Thank you all for tuning in here to Freaky Fast Broadcasting. It's going to be a wild ride here through the 80 laps tonight in these Xfinity cars. This package here puts on such a show. 60% fuel load also, so we're definitely going to have some interesting strategies going on throughout this race.
And strategy is going to be key. There's a stage break. We know that's coming, so people are going to want to think about maybe undercutting that if they're within that delta of the leader, maybe coming out with the stage with the lead. So I think fuel and strategy is going to be big on this track. Usually is, as long as you can keep those fenders clean.
Yeah, the interesting thing there, stage 1 coming at that lap 20 mark, stage 2 at lap 45. So you're going to have a 20-lap stage and then a 25-lap stage. But you got to count those cautions, so it should be a little bit shorter than 25 laps. I think the second stage is the stage you're going to have to worry about the most with fuel, but most likely we should be good to make it. That last stage, though, going to have to definitely pit. I don't see these cars going 35 laps with a 60% fuel tank, and it'll probably be a one-stop from there. But, you know, you're going to have to survive to get to that stage here tonight, Carl. It's going to be a tough one as the racing is going to be very, very much side-by-side much of the night.
Very side by side. These cars draft really well. They get a little squirrely in the dirty air, so that can be really treacherous back in the pack. But once you get into the lead, you're hitting that wall of air, and it almost you can feel it slow down your car. It's really, really crazy how this package works in the air. So it's going to be really key when you move, how you move, and who you have with you to move. It's definitely going to be fun to watch tonight.
Definitely gonna be a fun one to watch. Welcome back, though, everybody, to Freaky Fast Broadcasting. It's been a wonderful year here in 2021. We can't wait to close it out to go into 2022. But we got 2 races left on our calendar, and what a special one it is here at Talladega with the Underdog Racing League season opener here tonight. It's going to be special to see who can pull it off and get that victory to put themselves atop that points board. Because Jason Finzler, Trevor Earhart, they're coming here tonight with some bonus points added up from that Rockingham clash. And those were our 2 drivers who battled all the way down to the end of the championship. We're going to see who's going to battle down to this championship here at Season 5. The Underdog Racing League, the pace car is going to take the hard left-hand turn down the pit road. We're going to take the long ride down the Talladega Super Speedway front straightaway, where we head to the tribal that does not have the start-finish line. We have that start-finish line way down the track as we head to the restart zone. Ray Lane going to be in control of the field. Robert Rader on the outside. We're looking to start Season 5 here at the Underdog Racing League, looking for the green flag. Here's Barney, gets ready to wave it. Green flag is in the air. Ray Lane's off and away. Great start from the top there with Rotor. It's side by side as they head by the flag stand.
Man, Robert Rader got a great start with the 23 of Joey Steyer behind him in the push. The 21 of Christopher Heights right there, third in the outside lane. They look to seem to have the edge going into turn 1, coming out of turn 2, but that inside line is the shortest way around the track. Does not look like the 53 is going to break away, but maybe down the backstretch with this really, really strong push from the 23. And just gets a little bit into the nose of the 23, sends the 53 around, but it looks like we have a clear track. The yellow has not flown yet, so we are still green. Great driving by the rest of the field to avoid a speeding car down that backstretch.
Well, you do not see the leader spin from the lead very much, and nothing else get hit there. Great save by Rader with a 360 on the back straightaway, but the push from Steyer's there just connected to the back bumper of the 53s. They both went down. It sends the 53 around. Steyer's now in control of the lead with Heights on the outside, our winner from Talladega last season.
And that was a really aggressive push from the 23. It seems a little early to be doing that, but seemed to work for him. Maybe not much for Robert Rader since he's mired down there in the middle of the pack, but he's definitely got the speed trying to pull away, but the 21 has a push from the 38, it looks like, from Jason Cotrone. So looks like that outside line not giving up quite yet as they go into 3.
Yeah, Robert Rader going to be the one that loses out very big in this situation. He goes from second place after taking the lead down the back straightaway back to 28th, 8 seconds behind the pack. Not only that, but all by himself. He'll be laps down here in the matter of by that stage at lap 20. I do not think he'll be able to stay there at this rate. But right now, he's just going to have to hope to keep that lucky dog spot as Ray Lane, our pole setter, takes the lead with the big push from like I said last season, winner Talladega, Christopher Heights. He had such a strong showing there. He's looking to maybe pull off a season opening win here.
And he definitely took a conservative move. He got shoved to the front of the 21. Looked like he had a little bit of space to cut down into the 23 and take that line away, but he did not take it. And as a result, he kind of fell behind the 23, but down the back stretch, it looked neck and neck going into 3. But the 23 seems to get just a little bit edge in front of him on that inside line. But the 21 giving a really strong push for the 44. So again, who is around you? Who can push you? Looks like that outside line with the 44, the 21 can have a little more speed across the trial.
Yeah, Ray Lane looking to hold that outside lane. Looks like he, like you said, had the daylight to get down in front of the 23, elected to stay up high and keep the push from the 21 here as we continue on 3 laps into the books already. Looking back at some data from last season, no cautions for any incidents last season here at Talladega. The only 2 cautions we had, that was for a stage caution. As you can actually see from that camera shot, looks like the 6 of Mark Whitley, some damage on the rear end of that car. Someone's got to have some front end damage to match that as the 6. Heavy damage on that rear spoiler.
It doesn't look to be affecting the 6 as much. Third row back on the inside line, so maybe kind of got a little bit of a rescue there, but definitely interested to see the front end of the next car that did it, because they know that's going to cause a huge issue. Aero is such a big factor here at tracks like Talladega.
And you can see now here from this onboard, you can see clearly Mark Whitley definitely some damage right aboard Mark Morales Jr. here. Looks like Morales' front end is cleared. But I tell you what, also Mark Whitley, not only does he have that front end rear end damage, he has some front end damage, actually punched in nose. So looks like he might have got shoved into the back of somebody else as the pushes, man. It's just so wild to see the energy that's generated from these Xfinity cars. It's a completely different package than we see with the Cup cars many times here where we race, very much, limited when you're side by side. This racing here, pretty much the whole time you're going to be 2x2, and then even sometimes 3 wide, maybe even 4 wide.
You definitely got to be prepared for that. Remember that spin with Robert Rader on that first lap on the back stretch? Maybe that had something to do with it. Could have been a lot of checking up. There were no other cars that spun, but maybe there weren't any innocent bystanders, and there was a little bit of collateral damage. As we look at the field, 2x2 looks like a good half. The first half of the field looks like they're running nice and clean. We're looking at the 24, Nick Alves, the 99 of Dylan Walterman. So all these guys, they've been fast. So they're just kind of biding their time. We see there on the left side of your screen, the 5 of Jason Fensler, and then outside line down the back stretch. So all these guys are just kind of biding their time, it looks like, trying to fill it out and seeing what else can happen in the rest of the racing. We already had one incident, no caution. Who knows what else can happen?
It's always interesting from the driver's standpoint. Look there at David Boyle. He's got some really rear end punch there, as someone must have gotten the back of him also. But it's always interesting, that season opener, that just feel of, man, this is a fresh season. Everything new is on the line. We all have a fresh start. It does seem to bring out different traits in drivers. Some drivers get a little more aggressive. Some try to go out there and be a little consistent on that first race to get a good start. And it's always interesting, I think, for the driver's seat, that first race. You really want to be that first winner of the season to, take grasp of that lead from those points just to start it all off. No better way to start it up than up front.
Oh, definitely not. And Talladega and Daytona, these tracks are wild cards. Anything can happen and anything will happen, and everyone knows that. So you want to try and get to the front. And there's a lot of nervous energy, because that's how it is. So you're trying to plan it out in your head and trying to plan it out with your teammates, and very rarely does it ever go according to plan. So that's definitely one of the traits that all these drivers need, is the ability to adapt and adjust. As looks like that outside line of the 44, Ray Lane with 21, that'll be a little bit more of a run again down the front stretch. It looks to go side by side with the 23 of Joey Stiers, once again going to turn 1.
A great run on the outside lane. The outside lane just hangs there for a moment, and they lead a few laps every now and then Stiers on the bottom will take control of the lead from there. It's interesting to see the battle back and forth between this outside line and this inside line, but good push there from Heights to the 44. He may be clear of that 23 by the time they get down to 3. No, he's not, just by a hair. The 23 keeps it on the inside.
And whatever pushes the 21 gives, looks like the 38 there in the inside line behind the 23 seems to match, and they just, one creeps up a little bit, then the next one, then the next one. It's just that air and how the front cars are able to interact and adapt. We haven't seen a lot of pushing with the bumper since the spinning of Robert Rader on that first or second lap. So maybe not as desperate at this point, but a lot of nervous energy at this point. A lot of the cars 2x2 for the first, 10, 12 cars. Definitely not going to last. We're coming up to lap 10, so it'll be halfway through to the next stage, and stage points always in the mix. And again, Jason Fensler, Trevor Earhart already have points from the clash, so a lot of these other drivers trying to capitalize on that stage break.
Side by side through 3 and 4, we continue to race. It's just like you said, the runs are just matching up between these lines, and it's continuing to stick together. One thing also, these drivers, not only do they have to manage, what's going on around them, paying attention to their surroundings and making sure they're putting themselves in good spots, you also got to pay attention to that oil and water temperature, especially this style play racing where you're packed up so tightly side by side, really has nowhere to go. I mean, with the car on the outside, you can't pull high to, get that clean air. So right here, you're stuck in that bottom lane. If you're overheating, you got to be careful in managing that and managing the gaps in driving in front of you to get more air on the nose.
And it's such an easy game to get, out of touch with. You could be, I mean, look at the 21, always pushing, always trying to stay up there. His focus is on the car in front of him, make sure he doesn't hit him. Man, what a worse way for that race to end, and that concentration to get interrupted by that gauge in your dash. They're going red for that water temp. So definitely a huge bouncing act with trying to get the car cool down, but at the same time trying to stay in line as we watch the three of Sirkovich get a little loose there through the tri-oval. These guys get a little more dicey. These cars the tires do wear, and looks like it's definitely having a counteractive effect on how these drivers drive the cars in the corner. So already getting a little slick out there on Talladega.
Yeah, this track definitely one of the tracks known to get a little bit more slick with the super speedway style racing, and also just with this Xfinity car, much lower downforce than any of the other stock cars we run. So these cars much lower on the grip totem pole, so it really slides around, and when you have less downforce, you slide the tires more. So these guys definitely going to feel that wear, especially through the travel when someone's tucked it right behind your rear bumper, almost picking the tires up off the ground. When that rubber leaves the road, the grip definitely does too. Is again another big run from the outside lane, but it's still staying side by side. Is up ahead of him. You got Ryan Twinem all by himself, unfortunately. 4 laps down. Just looks like he got a late start to the race, but then another 10 seconds up the road. That's Robert Rader, 35 seconds back. We're only halfway through this stage here. He is going to go a lap down, but again, like I said, needs to keep the focus of he'll be the only car a lap down unless something else plays out where another driver goes a lap down. He needs to stay there to get that lap back.
And definitely scary situation going around lap traffic, especially if you catch them in the corner. These cars are hard to drive side by side, let alone adding another car to the outside. Definitely going to be interesting as they collect these lap cars. But Robert Rader can stay 1 lap down and get the wave around with stage end coming in about 8-7 laps, but it's definitely not going to stay on the lead lap for sure with the speed and the pace that these guys are really cruising around at this point.
Here they go by Ryan Twine. They're doing a great job of holding the outside lane to let these drivers all through here. And going to try to hook onto this and try to ride with this pack out. And best bet for him there to do that is he now will be 5 laps down, unfortunate for him. And, if we get a few cautions, he could get back in position. I've seen people come back from pretty far back with the cautions, but, man, just going to be a tough spot for Ryan Twinem is up front. You've seen it, Ray Lane. He got the pass done with the help of Christopher Heights. Now as he takes control of the bottom lane, Heights going to have control of the top. We'll see what Heights can do. Remember that winner from Talladega? He's trying to look. He wants to get down low, but now they go to his outside.
And that's exactly what you got to be careful of, is you let the guy in front of you, give him a good shove, you got him in front, but now you're the front guy, and maybe you don't have the car that has the speed or the handling to handle all the fresh air you're getting in front of you. So definitely going to be interesting as we watch the 21 on the outside lane with the 33 behind him. Looks like they're not going to lose too much, but that gap in that second lane with that third car, it looks like the 6, it's a little loose there, but as that outside line starts to get formed up again with Christopher Heights outside of Ray Lane. So teammates become not necessarily enemies, but definitely not helping each other at this point, trying to lead this race.
Right now, man, I tell you, aggressive move from Whitley there and 2 to jump up to the top side behind the 33. The door was open with the 3, and now Ray Lane says he's seen enough of the bottom lane getting deteriorated. He wants to jump back up top, and I've seen people do this. They play the inside, they play the top, but I tell you, this is where it gets dangerous. You going back and forth, using your lanes. At some point, somebody's not going to lift. They're going to turn you across the racetrack like we've seen with Raider in the 23, and it's going to be a big incident possibly as here the Heights all the way to the back bumper of the 44. You can see how close he gets. You definitely don't want to get too close, because if you make some contact, it's going to be a tough time for the 44. It's the big run down the back straightaway, though, with that close run to the back rear end. And Heights, man, he kind of wiggled there. That could have been dangerous, almost to the left rear.
And it is such a game of balance. You have to think about the timing and how you dive down and who's that in that position. Will he let you off and let you take that spot this early in the race? Is he going to make it hard on you as we watch Ray Lane stay in that outside lane through 3 and 4? But through the tri-oval, it looks like he's going to stay in that outside lane. He wants to try and cut off the route of the 23 because he's fast. Definitely has the speed up there, but you want to stay in the lead and try and balance those two lanes, but it can get very difficult and very, very dangerous as we watch the 23 get to the inside quarter of the 44. 44 into one.
Yeah, and Lane is definitely trying some interesting tactics there. Pulls low, gets the big run here from the 21. He'll pull low most likely here down to the 3. Then he'll come back up high. He's definitely manipulating the lanes very well, but at some point, somebody's going to look to leave him high and dry. And when he moves back up, they're going to go to the outside and try to go around him, stick him in the middle. So got to be careful, playing those games. Sometimes you will put yourself farther back into this mess.
Definitely got to do it safe. Think time, spatial awareness. It's only 16 laps into the race. The stage break is coming about 3 laps right now because this is 17. Points are important. We know Ray Lane was just a little bit below on the cutoff date, so he's definitely one of those drivers that can be in the playoffs, and already got to think about those 10 extra playoff points if you win the stage.
Right now, Robert Rader, the second place driver, he going a lap down. You'll see him go by on the outside lane here as the rest of the field looks to go by. Rader, unfortunately, going to go a lap down, but he'll be the first car lap down. His Heights up front. He makes the big move to the inside of the 44 Ray Lane. He's looking to take the lead here before the stage ends. And with coming to 3 to go, almost makes the big wrong move there to go up front of the 44. Wasn't clear, had to go back down to 23, right on the rear bumper.
And that was really dangerous. That made the inside lane lose a lot of momentum, but it looks like the good shove from the 23 to the 21 is sending them down at the front stretch neck and neck, but this is getting really, really dicey up here in front. All these drivers know it's almost the end of the stage, and again, points are important as we see the 23 give a really good push to the 21 coming out of 2, so all these drivers really hanging on for almost dear life as the tires wear and the fuel load gets lighter in the back as we watch the 33 give a great shove to 44 down the backstretch going into 3, but definitely some sketchy driving as we're seeing here.
Yeah, definitely interesting scenario with Ray Lane. If I can remember correctly, I think he pulled the same kind of strategy at Talladega where he get pushed out, far enough to take the lead on the bottom line, would not go down there electing to keep the outside line. And, I kind of see what he's playing there. The outside line always much more the run down the straightaway and usually has the lead here at the line. I think he thinks this outside line is going to be the place to be with 2 to go here. Ray Lane leading that lap. Heights, though, on the bottom. We'll see if he can get him a stage win here as he was our winner last season here at Talladega.
And these guys are really starting to push and shove. Oh, as you see the 33 get a little squirrely coming out of 2. But the 44 looks to see to have the speed going down the backstretch with a good push from the 33 again. But doesn't look like he is going to dive down in front of the 21. But the 23 is giving another good push. It's really interesting to see. The inside line is shorter on the track, but the outside line has the momentum. It's just kind of a which better and which lane does your car handle better, I think, at this point with the tires fading and the fuel cell getting emptier.
Through the tri-oval. White flag here in the air one more time for stage number 1 here tonight. Ray Lane's going to need to hold off the 21 of Chris Wrights. He pulls the side draft down into 1. He pulls the nose ahead. Stunner looks to the outside. Where does Mark Whitley go? He's stuck in the middle. He can't decide. He goes to the middle lane into the outside of Ray Lane. This is all stacked up here as the 6 makes the move to the outside. He's going to have the help of the 44 now. Who's going to have it down the back straightaway as Heights goes down to 3 with the lead.
And the Heights goes into 3 with a good shove from the 23. Coming out of 4, we have Mark Whitley with a messed up rear bumper in 3rd. Ray Lane went from leading to 4th and 5th, fighting for that 4th spot. As we see the 23 of Joey Stiers go to the outside around the 21 of Christopher Heights. The 6 of Mark Whitley going to the outside of the 23. Coming to the line at the end of stage 1. Here we are at the 44. Gets into the corner of the 6, but saves it. Looks like the 6 will win the stage. Wow, what a finish to that stage, Zach. That was some really intense driving.
It was a dead even heat across the line, and somehow Mark Whitley, we've seen before pull off photo finishes. He gets the stage win here tonight for stage number 1 in the 6 machine with some damage on the car. What a way to make his appearance here in the Underdog Racing League with a stage win here to start it all off. We're going to go to a quick break up here at Freaky Fast Broadcast, our first commercial break of the night. Thank you all for tuning in. We'll be right back. And we are back here from commercial break. I'm Zach Call up in the booth. Joined alongside me here is Carl Pooler as we're here tonight for the Twisted Metal 213 here at the Underdog Racing League here at the Talladega Super Speedway season opener here. And man, what a racetrack to kick it all off right there at the stage one. Mark Whitley wins it by I mean I don't even know what we can describe it. It was 0.000 because iRacing only goes to the 1,000. And from there, it looked like a tie, but it gave it to the 6.
And definitely the way he did it and the way he drove up there was really brave. Everyone was pushing and shoving. He just was able to find the openings and gaps in the lines and was able to definitely take that win. So I think a lot of people learn from that, and I don't think he's going to get an extra shot at that. So he's better stay up front because people now know what he is capable of. But look at that. We see the 25 of Trevor Earhart in the outside second row. He's up in fourth. So Trevor Earhart finding his way to the front row or the front of the pack as we have the pit truck go into pit lane. As they go across the tri-oval, we have Barney with the green flag out, waiting to collect these cars as they roll by. Mark Whitley in control of the pack with the 23 of Joey Stiers as we see them all start off. Green flag in the air. Here we go, stage number 2.
Stage number 2 underway as we head down to turn number 1. 24 laps in the books, going to lap 45 for stage number 2. Going to be 21 laps here in this stage, so they should be good on fuel unless that one extra lap is what they can't make. But here comes the run from the outside lane. Trevor Earhart, the leader of the most laps here last season at Talladega, with the help of the winner from Talladega, Christopher Heights, works the outside lane in behind Joey Stiers to the 23. Big push down the back straightaway.
Definitely a huge push is going into 3. Looks like Joey Stiers is going to stay in the outside lane with Trevor Earhart and Christopher Heights behind him. Looks like they all fall in line as Mark Whitley starts kind of edging on him on the exit of turn 4, but through the tri-oval, there we are, the 23 getting abreast with the number 6. So all these guys right back, starting off right where they left off. So definitely side by side and willing to push each other around and kind of get a feel for the rest of the race.
Right here down in the 123 of Stiers, nose is ahead. Here comes the 6 of Mark Whitley at the run through the corner, but down the straightaway, it's going to be an outside lane that pulls forward as they got the good push going. Ray Lane, though, great job to push that 6. They're trying to break that side draft, get a little farther away from that inside lane and pull forward, but it's just not working at the moment. You got to credit Mark Whitley. Won the stage there with the damage and now leading the bottom lane with the damage. That's where that car's going to suffer the most, is right out in front. But I tell you what, doesn't look too bad as it's leading that inside line strongly.
Yeah, and if the 6 is suffering, count me in, because he is leading strong. He doesn't look like it's affecting him that much. He's been able to keep up pace with the 23 and everyone else. He's been able to push and get pushed. So, I mean, whatever happened to him doesn't be affecting him at all. But it looks like we have the 23 charging to the lead going into 1, but he does not jump down to take that line away. He stays up in the high line with Trevor Earhart pushing him in the 25.
Stacking everything up here on the back straightaway. Earhart going to give the good shove to Stiers. 21 to Heights also, but here, look at the move. Earhart looked like he was going to go low. The 23 said, no, I didn't want that. They back out of it here. That was almost a huge moment there as Heights luckily gathers it all up. Could have been a big moment. Tyler England could have took it 3 wide, but is very smart to back out of the ball.
And that was a massive stack up for that outside line, losing all that momentum. Trevor Earhart going to lose a couple of spots, but looks like Ray Lane in the last stage, we saw him out front, and having Trevor Earhart behind him, that could be huge, letting them push each other. And as we watch, we see the 44 get alongside of the 6 and creeping up to the side of the 23. So here we go, the 23 and the 44 back up front, taking the front row, with the 6 pushing the 23 and the 25 Trevor Earhart pushing the 44.
It's all getting a little more wild here in stage number 2. Ray Lane elected to stay up high. He really likes that high lane with the help of Trevor Earhart, who did lead the most laps here at Talladega last season. So we'll see if he can get himself in a better position. Didn't have a great finish, but did lead the most laps. As Stiers having a great performance here in his first race here at the Underdog Racing League. Man, had a good one at the Clash last week, but for a first official race, leading this many laps, starting up front, it's been a good one.
And Definitely good for Stiers getting that experience and getting just used to everyone around him. I think he's a rookie in this league, so as we watch the 44 and the 25, as the 25 ducks down in front of the 23 and gets alongside of the 44, the 21. Christopher Heights is going to get up to the bumper of the 44 again, like we saw in stage 1, and give him a shove down the back straightaway. But the 23 giving a strong push to the 25 of Trevor Earhart down the back stretch. So definitely a lot more aggressive moves in the front of the pack at this point of the race.
One move from our defending series champion there, Trevor Earhart, as now we jump on board with another champion here at the Underdog Race League. This was our Truck Series champion, a driver many thought was going to be the Xfinity Series champion, who come up just 2 points short. It's Jason Finzone 5. He's been somewhat quiet all night, right in the middle of the pack. Started 7th, has really been anywhere from 14th to 6th all night long here up in this outer lane, just cruising along at the moment, trying to bide his own time here and put himself in a great spot. We know we get to another racetrack here soon, he'll be able to use those skills of his to put himself in a better spot.
You know, on a track like Talladega, 30 laps in, I think quiet is exactly what Jason Finzone wants. He's understanding everything and wondering who's around him, but he's slowly but surely making his way up and forward to the front of the pack. So I think it's really just a matter of time before Jason Finzone gets up there. But as we watch, a lot of these guys moving around a little bit, the inside line, they'll fall apart, then they get back together. So those front guys definitely hitting the wall of air hard, and the draft playing a role in how these cars get sucked up to each other, how they race against each other also side by side.
As we got a good shot here from the roll bar in the race car here, as you see ahead of Walterman there on the inside line. You got the 9 of Justice Murphy along with James Lovin behind him in the 56 machine as they all train along here at Talladega in stage number 2. Remember, lap 45 is the end of this stage here. 21 laps to get it done. We'll see, and though Trevor Earhart, guy who led the most laps, won the championship last season, he's put himself back up front once again, 16th to 1st. What a drive for him.
And look at that, getting a solid push from the 23. They got a little loose there. Looks like the 21 did the same thing to the 44. So these guys are not as patient as they were in stage 1. They're really pushing each other, but looks like the 23 is going to edge out the 44 even. So those top 2 cars, but here we go. Outside lane gaining momentum to the tri-oval again. But the 25 has the ability to take that outside lane away. We have seen the 23 and the 44 both just voluntarily stay in that outside lane, but the 25 is going to stay in that inside lane. So I think the inside lane is where his car can do the most and be the fastest it can be, but it looks like the 44 is trying to get down there and side draft those 2 front cars coming up to.
Yeah, that outside lane, that inside lane, it's just yin and yang right now as they go back and forth. I mean, it is one gets the run here, one gets the run there. Is, man, the big run, though, from Heights and Ray Lane as they get clear and actually pull down to the bottom lane. That pulls Tyler Dingler alongside Trevor Earhart in the 19. He's had a heck of a drive also from 24th. So a lot of good movement there with his teammate Martin Morales up top as now Heights jumps to the outside lane, our winner from Talladega last season. He's trying to go forward again.
And, you know, the 19 started back there. I saw him start, I think, 5th or 6th on the restart of stage 2. He's marched his way up there. He really was kind of the tail end of that large push from the 21 and the 44. So definitely want to keep an eye on him out there in the second lane. I think he's got a car that's really good pusher. And then with his teammate behind him, I think this is going to be a very dangerous combo here coming up halfway through the race.
Definitely a dangerous combo for sure as they work down this back straightaway. Dingler, what a great drive again, like I said, for him. 24th up into the top 5 now, trying to make a splash here in his first race here at the Underdog Race League. Definitely, you know, new to the Underdog League, but not new to Freaky Fast. A lot of these guys coming over from other leagues, and that's one thing I love to see, Carl. It's just, you know, the diversification of the leagues with different drivers, different styles, different, you know, everything about it. It brings such a good skill set to Freaky Fast, and lets us be able to see these drivers do action each every week and get to know a few of them out there a little more personally.
Oh, definitely. The 19 of Dangler, he and Martin Morales, they're fun to drive with. We see them in the Truck Series on Monday nights. But it takes so many different skills and skill sets to drive, to go from the trucks and to the Xfinity and to the Cup. So they're always learning and always wanting to try new things. And them just getting out and branching out to the Xfinity Series is always fun to see. But as we watch, we have the 25, Trevor Earhart, and the 44. Looks like the 44 is going to voluntarily let the 25 on the inside line and take that outside line. He gathered up by the 21 of Christopher Heights and try and get that push again. Interesting move. Looks like the 44 kind of gave up that lead, and right now he's neck and neck with the 23 of Joey Steyer. So for that outside line, Ray Lane giving up a couple of spots.
Yeah, we've seen it. He's committed to the outside lane. I think he is gonna live and die by that outside lane here tonight. You know, if it doesn't go when he needs it to at the right time, he's not gonna be in the right position. But if he times it right, we've seen him get big jumps out to the lead, and I think that's what he's been practicing. You know, this is, you know, here at Talladega, Daytona, you don't get away from your competition. There's not really no gain to doing, you know, unnecessary things, but there is time here to practice, try moves that you can save for later in the races. Oh, big moment as the 21 gets to the back of the 44. That causes a little check up there off of 4, and we could have seen a big wreck there as these guys recover here and get it back going.
Man, that started out coming out of 4. We had Martin Morales kind of getting to the 19. They both had to check up a little bit, and that just lost the air of those guys. The outside line kind of dissolved, but here we are, literally the front stretch later, all back together, side by side. Looks like the entire field is out. We have Jobs Circovich is out, but other than that, we are having 28 strong cars running this race tonight. So really, really fun to watch. And these guys are dipping and diving, getting a little squirrely. So definitely having a handful on this slick track this afternoon.
And again, showing how well the Underdog Racing League can race on these super speedways. Last time, again, like I said here at Talladega earlier in the stage 1, we only had stage cautions last season, only from the first stage and then the second stage. So only 2 cautions during that race. And tonight we only have 1 caution so far, and that's been for the stage. So could they replicate that? We'll have to see. But there it is. You see Robert Rare in the 53. He's dicing his way up through the field in that machine. And remember, he got caught a lap down, spun on the very first lap of the race, taking the lead. Gets back on the lead lap after getting that lucky dog. And someone's in the wall up front. They scatter. It looks like Morales tries to gather it up as he keeps it going. Guys trying to get back up onto the track there as the 6 and the 23 of Joey Stires and Mark Whitley try to get on the lane. Justice Murphy dives onto the apron. We are seeing calamity here on lap number 37.
Oh, wow. That was Martin Morales getting into his teammate, the 19 of Tyler Dangler, hitting the wall. There was definitely some crazy moves between the 25, the 21, the 44 of Ray Lane. So that was a huge moment. But once again, cars all around, they scatter, but they stay going forward and straight. So again, no caution. But again, we are 3 wide going into 1. We have Dylan Walterman on the outside, Dangler in the middle, and then 38 on the inside. And we are 3 wide, 2 rows. The 21 of Heights trying to stay in front, but the 44 in that middle lane cannot be stopped. But there we are. The 5 of Jason Fencer pushing the 99 of Dylan Walterman on the outside line going into 3. Wow, looks like Dylan Walterman's going to take the lead here, but we are still 3 wide. Robert Rader, issue in the first part of this race, is on the outside of that second row, 3 wide, and we are still 3 wide coming out of 4 and down the tri-oval. Robert Rader pushing the 5 of Jason Fencer through the tri-oval. This is getting really, really scary.
Great move there from Walterman. Gets the push from Fensler and Rare to get up to the lead. It's now Heights backs out after almost getting into the back run for the 99. We see you can run side by side, but you also can run 3 wide here at Talladega very easily in this Xfinity car. And this is great stuff and great action to see as Dingler close with the 21 there through the center of the corner, side drafted as the middle lane goes forward. Fensler still fighting hard up on the top lane as Raider drops down to the middle, but Brad Ringer jumps up top to the 3rd lane.
And Jason Fencer getting kind of stuck outside, hung out to dry. There's the 76 kind of a length and a half behind him, but still just dropping, losing spots. Is keeping it 3 wide, keeping it outside, but it looks like the 3rd lane is forming back there. So we are having to watch out as Dylan Walterman is trying to weave head off each lane, but cannot. He gets up there in front of the 44 of Ray Lane, but 21 of Christopher Heights gets to the inside. But here we are, the 44 of Ray Lane making it 3 wide again, going around the 99 of Dylan Walterman into turn 1 again. They are not content. It's lap 40. We have 5 laps until the stage break. These guys are racing like it is the last lap.
This is great action to see here. Love it on Freaky Fast. Here comes third to help the 99 in the middle of the 53 Raider. Jumps over Dingler in the 44 lane. It's going to be 3 wide down into 3 and 4. 2 rows deep. Walterman pulls even in the middle. Height still in the bottom leading the way, but Lane on the top there trying to pull his way along, but the middle looks to be the way to go.
Oh, but the 44 of Ray Lane in that outside lane is trying to get the momentum back. He is abreast of the 33 of Justin Stunner, but he is moving forward. The 19 of Tyler Danger. Moving forward. We are 3 wide, 4, 5 rows back, going into turn 1. We still have 4 laps until the stage end. These guys are wheeling and dealing, trying to get the best spots and get those points for the end of the stage.
3 by 3 by 3 by 3. They're all racing 3 deep here at Talladega in stage number 2. We see stage 1 have an epic finish. You think this one's going to get a little crazy. Walterman in the middle leads the way with the push from Stunner. Lane up top, Heights down low. Everybody looking for a lane to go here. It's traffic jam at Talladega as they're going to be rounding here off of 4 here to complete lap 41. And we're going to have 4 to go here in the stage. Lap 45, stage completion.
And they are not content with where they are. They are still pushing. It looks like the outside lane is kind of dissolved. There's only 3 cars there. The 44 of Ray Lane has fallen back, as had the 19 of Tyler Dangler, but they are trying to push forward. Still not content. They're not getting in line. They are really, really working that far outside line. And 3 wide is, Justin Stunner looks like that little loose in front of the 44, but we are still clean. And looks like the 44, the 19, and the 5 all getting a little more momentum down the backstretch.
Just as you think the outside lane disappears, it reforms back up. Dingler, the 44 lane, the 5 of Finzler, the 76 of Ringer, all up top trying to make it go. As oh man, the 33 slides up the racetrack, Stunner almost into the 44, but we keep it clean and green here as off of turn 4, Heights control the lead. Walterman working the middle lane. We can see this Xfinity car putting on one heck of a show, and what a season opener.
Man, this is amazing racing. I was worried about getting my hopes up after Rockingham and all that, but this is just taking my breath away. Here we are. Jason Stunner trying to do the side draft to the 44. That outside lane is not done yet. The Christopher Heights getting the inside of Walterman. 33 gonna tap that outside corner of Walterman's bumper. Gonna back out of it a little bit, but we again are 3 by 3 by 3, 3 rows deep. We have Christopher Heights in the front lonely, but we do have that 44 on that outside. Getting a little more momentum as we go into turn 3. So a good shove from the 33 of Justin Stunner, and Dylan Walterman is right back at it. 3 abreast for the lead.
Oh man, it's getting so close between that middle lane and that outside lane. Justin Stunner washing up the racetrack almost into the 44 Ray lane. He looks like he wants to jump up top there. Maybe he looks to the side nine as soon as he pushes Walterman here. They're going to be crossing the line here to complete lap 43. It's going to be 2 to go here in the stage. What a race we've had so far here tonight. What a stage in for stage 1. It was almost a dead tie. What we're going to see here is down to 3. It's 3 abreast through the whole entire field.
And they are getting really squirrely next to each other. We've seen the 33 kind of wash up the track. These cars are not having any grip at the end of this run. 2 laps to go. These guys not only are waiting for some fuel, but also some tires. We saw a tie at stage 1, but that was between 2 cars. We are really gearing up for a tie for stage 2. For between 3 cars is 33. It's really squirrely and looks like a lot of the field on the outside line has to check up just a little bit. But we stay green and stay going as the 21 and the 99 of Walterman are trying to side draft. But here comes again the 44 and the 19 on that outside lane, just not necessarily getting the speed, but not falling back either. So definitely wanting to keep them going and keep the speed as we are at lap 45. We have 1 to go in the stage.
1 lap to go. Walterman on the outside working that move in the middle. The 44 red lane. He's trying to get something to fire down the back straight with the help of Tyler Dingo, Jason Finzler. The Heights on the very bottom lane with the help of Earhart. It's Thunder in the middle, who's definitely having the handling problems. He's going back and forth in that middle lane, having trouble, but he's pushing his heart off as they go down to 3. Contact a little bit between the 21 and 99, side by side. Thunder almost up into the 44. They're going to be coming off a 4. Who's going to have the big run? Looks like Walterman has the help. Here comes the outside lane. Stunner pushing the 99. The 21 has the help of Earhart. Who's going to have it at the line, side by side through the tri-oval? Looks like Walterman going to have the side draft. He looks like he's going to win stage number 2 here tonight.
That was amazing. We had the 84 in the middle of that cluster get really loose and have to gather it up. Really broke apart that inside line, but man, Dylan Walton driving the wheels off of that car. 99 winning stage 2, 10 playoff points for him. So already a couple of different drivers winning, a couple of different drivers mixing it up. So already really fun racing for our season opener here at the Underdog Racing League.
What a show here for that stage number 2. We couldn't ask for anything more. Walterman gets the win in stage number 2 here tonight for the season opener for season number 5. We're going to go for our last commercial break of the night, and we'll be right back as these drivers hit pit road. Welcome back to Freaky Fast Broadcasters. We're here with the Underdog Racing League here tonight for the season opener for season 5. I'm Zach Hope, and we've joined alongside me is Carl Puller. Man, well, I can't even describe that stage 2, Carl. That was intense racing, if we could ever say it. And man, I think this is just building up to a very interesting ending of this race because, man, not only have we not seen a caution for a wreck yet, but if we stay green in this one, we're going to get a actual green flag pit stop.
And that is always going to be fun to watch. Speeding penalties, that always shakes up the field, sliding the tires, and sometimes just spinning out. That can cause a caution. So there's a lot of laps to go. We have 30 laps. It's going to be really, really crazy, but I think it's going to be great driving the way those guys wheeled and dealt those cars at the end of that second stage. These guys have a lot still left to give. So hold on, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to get really wild.
It definitely is, Carl. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in here tonight. It's been a special night here. Is like I said, second to last broadcast of 2021 here on Freak Fast Broadcast. And what a great year has been for us here to grow, not only here with the Underdog Racing League, but all the other leagues that we broadcast on. So thank you again to everybody who's tuned in. If you haven't yet, hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe and that bell notification button to show your support here at Freaky Fast Broadcasting. And you can always be notified when we go live with each and every one of our leagues because, man, we got some top-tier racing, as you've seen here tonight here at the Talladega Super Speedway. 3-wide action all the way through that Stage 2 ending. It was so clean. I cannot wait to see how it all ends out here tonight at the Talladega Super Speedway as we're going to take the long ride down to that restart zone. Pace car is going to take the hard left-hand turn down the pit road. Robert Rader took the lead on lap number 1, got the push that sent him around, went a lap down, got the lucky dog. Now he's in position. He's up front. He's going to be leading us to this green flag. Christopher Heights, last season's Talladega winner, he's going to start alongside. We're going to see who's going to pull it off here in the final portion of tonight's Twisted Metal 213. Green flag is in the air. Heights is off and away. Is Raider way far behind. Heights is almost a couple car lengths out. He has got a huge jump on the field.
Yeah, and that's definitely a huge thing because as we see the 53 try and get a draft, but you don't want to get too far away because you start slowing down and everyone that has your draft and has to check up as we're watching there in that outside lane. So even though the 21 got a great restart and, shoved his way to the front, he's now trying to fight some positions off. It looks like the 44 of Ray Lane's going to go to the inside of him, make it 3 wide, and 21's going to get hung out to dry start of this stage 2, lap 1.
Yeah, our winner from last season at Talladega is going to have to work his way back up. He's got sent to the rear of the field. Here is at 21. He is went up to no man's land there in the third lane. No help. And now Walterman in that 99, he was able to put himself in position to win that second stage. He now looks to fight his way forward here with the help of Tyler Dingler putting a side draft on that 33. Adjust the stunner on the bottom lane with Robert Rader leading this lap.
Justin Stunner looks to make a move to the outside lane. He's going to get in front of Dylan Walterman going into 1. Dylan Walterman, the 99 car, is going to give a nice little push to the 33. Justin Stunner coming out of 2. Looks like Justin Stunner is going to have just the lead by maybe half a car length coming out of 2 going down the backstretch. That outside line really has momentum right now with Tyler Dinger third on that outside line. Robert Rader has the 25 of Trevor Earhart and the 5 of Jason Fencer behind him. So definitely has some strong cars there, but Justin Stunner taking advantage of some clean air at the moment.
Yeah, here they go, rumbling through turn number 4 here at the Talladega Super Speedway. I tell you what's one thing that can enhance your sim racing, and that is ButtKicker. It can definitely help you feel the rumble of this pack racing around here at Talladega. So make sure you head on over to ButtKicker.com, where you can use our promo code FreakyFast20 to get 20% off of any purchase there at ButtKicker.com. Like I said, you can feel what you've been missing not only here on the track, but also in your movies, your FPS games, many different things. So not only is the ButtKicker great for sim racing to immerse yourself and feel the rumble of these race cars as they go around this racetrack at 190 mile an hour, it is definitely something you're going to want to be interested in. So make sure you get on over to ButtKicker.com and check that on out. Thank you again to ButtKicker for being a proud sponsor. And man, I tell you what, this field here has definitely been putting on a show here for us tonight, Carl. We have not seen single file action, I think, really at all. So we've always had somebody racing side by side, and that's all you can ask for at Talladega.
Indefinitely, and no one can get too far away. As long as you have a little bit of that draft, you always can seem to suck up to that car in front of you. So it's really all about throttle control. And, you know, these guys are not taking it easy. They've been pushing, they've been shoving, dodging, and weaving. These guys have their hands full with these cars, especially later on the run as the tires wear. So these green flag pit stops are going to be really, really intense with hot, slick tires, hot, slick track. Not a lot of weight in the rear end with lack of fuel. So I think these guys have to be thinking about that at some point, right? It's like thinking, oh, how am I going to plan getting down, and then how's that pit stop going to pan out for those guys?
Yeah, that is a very good question there, Carl. How are we going to play this pit stop out? The way it's looking here, it's most likely going to be around a 31 lap run here for these guys. 60% fuel load. I'm looking somewhere around that 23 to 24 mark is when they're going to have to be hitting pit road. So that means they're really going to be about 6 to 7 laps short here tonight. Really possibly 8 laps short for making it to the end here. And in that case, you could see some guys put some interesting strategies here where they just go to pit road as soon as they know they can make it from that distance. They hit pit road, top their car, put their fuel into their car, which will be less than what the other amount of people would need to take, and put themselves in an interesting situation where the caution comes out. It's almost like a road course. You jump everybody because you stay out and get the track position. So we could see some interesting strategy. You could see some guys wait to go right at the end of this race, do no tires, just a splash of fuel. So different ways you can go about it, but it's going to be interesting to see who pulls it off, what teammates do this. It's all going to come down to how the pack starts deciding this. We may start to see some separation here form in a couple laps.
And definitely got to keep an eye on that fuel window. I think everyone's going to be burning up the radio with their teammates when they're going to pit, and it's going to be fun. But as we watch for along with Cook here, everyone seems kind of double file there, not really too earnest. There's some moving around, but for the most part really uniform. So I think everyone's just trying to gather themselves and get to themselves at that point, because there's so many things that can go wrong. But definitely just think about the moment now and going into 3 side by side on the whole field. Definitely hard to say what or when is going to happen, but right now everyone seems calm and content for the moment as it gets down to the bottom lane there, but it gets to the bump of the 15. For now it's calm, but I don't think it's going to last that long.
Yeah, that calm's going to go away very quickly once they all get into the right positions there. As you see the 2 now, Mark Morales-Murray had that big moment. They got caught up into that incident early in that race. He's now worked his way back to 15th. Also, Mark Willey, he went a lap down after winning stage 1 after getting in that incident. He's back to 13th. So great run up for him. But I'll tell you who has not rebounded. That's the 23 Joey Stires. We've seen him up front leading for a lot of this race right now, back in 24th, but still in a good spot. He's hanging on to the draft, and with these pit stops looming, this is not the worst spot to be in. You hit a good pit stop, you get out, and you'll jump on a lot of these drivers, as pit road can really separate the weak ones from the strong ones.
Oh, definitely. And, you never know who's going to take 2 tires, 4 tires, or just fuel. So that's always there to play. But he looks to have a lot of speed. He is making his way. He has the draft to that outside line now as he makes the pass over past 89 and Matt Job, as we see another car getting up there. So definitely fun to watch these cars move their way from the back to the front and trying to balance that aggression. We know that 23 is aggressive. He loves to make that push, but he's slowly but surely making his way back to the front.
Yeah, definitely trying to make his way back up there as we can still stay side by side up front. It's Justin Stunner and Robert Rader 1-2 in the outside and inside lane as the rest of this field just tracks along here on lap 57 of 80 here. And like I said, it's going to be interesting once the strategy starts to play out. I think that's why you see this calm reaction. Everybody knows, well, we're coming to a pit stop here at some point. No reason to get ourselves caught up in anything too crazy here. As we seen at the end of the last stage, they turned it up to 11 with about 7 to go. And I wouldn't be surprised if that's about the same time we see that turned up here with the group that we have after that pit stop cycles everybody through.
And it all is going to hinge and depend on that pit stop, getting in and out cleanly, not making any mistakes. So critical here because these guys are going 190, 195 around this track in the draft. So you make a mistake, you're going down a lap. Not instantly, but definitely eventually you're going to go down that lap. You're going to lose the pack, and you don't want to do that. So calm and collected right now is the way to go until these pit stops. We'll see yellow card trying to get that super outside line running. Not working. He's too far back. No one else is going with him, but everyone else content with the double file, but you can feel it a little squirrely already on that inside line. You never know. Never know what can happen and when it's going to happen. Here we are at Talladega, 59 laps into the race. We have about 21 to go. A lot of races to go here, Zach.
Yeah, still a long way to go here at Talladega. A lot can still happen for sure. And you got to keep your head in the game if you want to stay on top of it here tonight at the Talladega Super Speedway. And I tell you what, you need to stay on top of that is Advanced Sim Racing. They were founded in 2020, and they are the fastest growing North American racing simulator chassis manufacturer and digital motorsports equipment retailer. Make sure you head on over to Advanced Sim Racing where you can check out all their ASR branded products. And you can use our promo code there you see on the screen, FreakyFast5, and it's spelled out as 5 there. So make sure you use that as you get 5% off of all Advanced Sim Racing branding equipment there. As man, I tell you what, they got some great stuff over there. And like I said, the fastest growing North American racing simulator chassis manufacturer. You definitely going to want to get yourself on your hands on some Advanced Sim Racing equipment if you want to advance your sim racing.
And definitely hit them up and tell them we sent you out there at Advanced Sim Racing. It's always good, and just great for the industry. Word of mouth always goes far. So let them know, and just let them know they're doing a good job. As we are here at Talladega down the back straightaway, side by side, we are on lap 60 of 80, stage 3 of the race. We've had a couple of winners. Mark Whitley won the first one. Then we had Dylan Waltman won the second stage. But we had a little bit of a breakup in that outside line. So I think we're about ready to see some of these green flag pit stops we were talking about, Zach.
Yeah, we're seeing a little bit of separation there in the field. Ray Lane there on the bottom lane. We've seen him up for majority of the night up front. He's kind of the leader of this second little back. That's a couple car links back. But right now, Trevor Earhart, he's the one being aggressive. He's jumping outside of Justin Stutter. He's trying to take the lead here from Raiders. Some big side drafts in the corner to pull that 53 back, but he's got the help of Justin Finsler in the 5, pushing him strong on the bottom.
And these guys it's ramping up already. So here we are. The pit stops are coming. They're going to, not only they're pushing themselves, but they're going to literally push each other because you want to try and, if you're not going to make a mistake, maybe get the guy in front of you, your competitor, make a mistake and get in his head a little bit. But as we watch, we see that inside line of Raider and Fensler really get out there to the front with the 25 in the outside line, getting a little push from the 33, but not quite as together that outside lane as we're used to seeing. So we're seeing that inside lane really starts to separate, but some really aggressive side drafting as well. As looks like the 25 is going to try and get back up neck and neck going into 1. So still that outside line getting a little more organized, but there was a little bit of confusion there for a little bit.
19 to go here in the race tonight here for the Twisted Metal 213 at Talladega. What a race it's been so far. We're near this pit stop. We know if you pit now, you can make it to the end. So we could see a pit stop from any moment forward. We'll see which driver is the first to elect to do it. I tell you, a driver who wants to see a caution, though, that's the 21 Christopher Heights. If he wants to have a chance to repeat here tonight in the 21, he's going to want to have a caution. Look at this. Raider, he's going to lead him down the pit road. Mark Whitley, along with Ray Lane, those are going to be the first 3 to hit pit road. Joey Stiers, Ryan Twiner, multiple different other drivers all on pit road here on lap number 62 of this race here with 18 to go. They're hitting their boxes. We'll have to see. Do they just hit fuel? Do they hit tires? We're going to have to see how long it's going to take as they pull into the boxes.
And I saw the 53 get a little hot into pit road. He locked one of his wheels up, and it looks like he was going a little quick. As we watch, the 53 doesn't look like it takes any tires fuel, only for the 53. I don't know if there was a speeding penalty, but we will have to see at pit exit. But as we're watching the rest of the pack go by, that has to be in the mind of these other drivers. These other guys just stop. They have fuel, maybe not have tires, but they do have fuel now. So all these other drivers are taking away the laps in their head, making sure and counting, wondering when they can make their own pit stop.
I really like the strategy from that group of drivers there. Raider in the 53, the 6 of Whitley. Fuel only here, top the car off. Know you can make it to the end. Give yourself a certain amount of fuel. Get back out there, line up, run some quick times. They're going to need to not race each other. That's going to be the key. They start racing each other, getting a little, antsy. stuff is going to slow up down here. As this pack here races side by side, that's going to be their goal, is to run quicker laps while this pack is racing and also have a better pit in time with less cars hitting pit road. It's going to be an interesting sequence now. This is going to be the race for the win. If we stay green, it's going to be fun to see who can pull this off as Trevor Earhart leads the pack out front. We'll see when they come down pit road, or do they wait longer? I mean, this is definitely a strategy that has a whole open into it, that has many different outlooks that you could pull off. I'm just looking to see which one is going to work. I always like that early pit strategy, but we'll see how it works out here at Talladega.
And if this second group decides to pit at roughly the same time, that is going to make for a really busy pit road, and not only getting on it, but getting through it. All the cars going in and out of their stalls, it's going to be can be really complicated and get under a lot of people's skin. And who knows what fender benders are going to get caught up in on pit road too. So that early group definitely did something good. Only a couple, it's 5, 6, maybe 8 cars all pitted there. And here we are, the majority of the field still out there. So definitely pros and cons to each strategy.
Definitely a lot of pros and cons for sure out there for these drivers when you hit Talladega. You got so many different things the way. That's one thing I've always brought up to the fans at home. Is being a sim racer is not only driving the car, but a lot of times being your own crew chief and doing your own strategy on the fly. So these guys not only racing at 190 miles an hour here at this 2.66 mile racetrack, but they're also calculating fuel, trying to do strategy in their head and figure out where they're going to be and which one puts them in the best position. So, man, I just got to credit guys doing this stuff on the fly. That's what makes sim racing a beautiful thing.
Love it. So, everything's in your hands. It's really, besides a wreck, there's really no one to blame but yourself when strategy goes bad. So definitely a kind of definitely pressure-packed situation, and almost freeing as well. So as these guys start lining up, here we are side by side again up at the front with Justin Stunnard outside of the 25 with Trevor Earhart. These guys are all thinking about that and wondering when to go and when not to go. So definitely hats off to these guys as they go around one more time to conclude lap 66 out of 80 here. We're about 14 laps to go. These guys still have a pit stop to make. I was watching the 99 get weaved a little left and right behind Justin Stunnard going into one. Our 2 championship contenders from last year, the 25 of Trevor Earhart and the 5 of Jason Fentz, find themselves nose to tail at the front of this pack. So definitely fun to see if these guys outplay each other in this strategy.
Yeah, definitely will be interesting to see how those two work together. They battle for a championship, looking strong right now. Also, James Lovell, he's broke his whip there to top 3, so congrats to him on breaking up there. He's had a good season the last 2 here at the Underdog Racing League. He's able to add a championship to those seasons here, this one. And it'll be interesting to see if he can fight for that. But, man, go over here to complete lap 67. These drivers look like what they're going to do, they're going to take it long and take the splash of fuel, which, is somewhat similar to the other guys, but they got to calculate this number. It's a little bit easier to, say, hey, I'll pit right when I know I can make it and give me the least amount of fuel available to make it to the end. These guys are going to have to calculate their fuel and figure out exactly how it works out. It's going to be a little bit more tougher position. And also, if a caution comes out, they're not in the greatest spot either, because they're not a lap ahead of the group that pitted. They're still way farther back behind them. If we get a caution, everybody else has to pit, they stay out.
The caution can be the wrench in the engine. You never know. As we watch these guys put a group of 3 cars a lap down, lap cars can be an issue. Anything can happen here at Talladega. So always that wary caution flag. You never know. But these guys are driving really clean, really solid driving actually. And again, one more lap without these guys coming down to pit road kind of solidifies that theory that they're going to just kind of stretch it up for as long as they can. But again, you got to be careful with caution. And what about a green-white checkered? If you're battling, we saw them go through wide for 5-7 laps earlier. With the end of the race coming up, they're going to be wanting to do that as well. And you never know who can make a wrong move and cause that caution. So it's going to be still, we're at lap 69. We still have about 12 laps to go. A lot of racing as we get close to the end of this race. But these guys are starting to file out now, so it makes me wonder if they're going to start coming in.
Yeah, it looks like starting to single file out. It looks like I think this may be the time. You're right, Carl. I think there's a come off of 4. We'll see who ducks low. Nobody yet. Nobody this time. So maybe next lap by. Or they're trying to all get low, not battle each other, run the fastest time available. And I tell you what, they've actually been quicker than that pack back in the 19th position of Robert Rader, Mark Whitley, Ray Lane, Joey Stires, Kevin Orlando Jr. That group has been slower. They're running a 51.63. Our leader out front, Trevor Earhart, 51.16. So right now, they are growing a net gap on that group behind them. This could work out better for the favor of these guys. But I tell you what, also more drivers hitting pit road, like you alluded to earlier, Carl. It's going to make it more congested and a lot slower for these guys, not only to get into pit road, but also to get out.
And definitely, these guys are still single file. It's coming. I can feel it. Looks like we have them coming out of 4. Trevor Earhart and Jason Fensler still on that inside line as we see them all fan out. Here we are, green flag pit stops for really through 2/3 of the entire field. As you see, Jason Fensler looks like he tried to get to the inside of Trevor Earhart there to maybe take that spot, but decided against it. So didn't want that speeding penalty, but that is a gaggle of cars on pit road all at one time. Oh, as we see some contact, looks like the 2 of Martin Morales. Oh, it looks like got spun around by the 33 of Justin Stunner and hits the inside wall. Unfortunate. One of those mistakes we mentioned earlier.
Yeah, and that's what it is. You get this congested of pit road, you're going to have incidents like that. Guys qualified in different spots. They're going to be in the inside of guys that are qualified farther behind them, and that's what you see Morales Jr. there spun around as you leave the exit of pit road. There's Fensler. There's Trevor Earhart. We're going to have to see where the pack of Robert Rader is led by. That group is going to be the group that we're looking to see where are they at. They're crossing down into 1. They should be up to speed in time to catch up with this pack. We're going to have an interesting battle here as they round out a 2. Jason Fensler's coming out of the coach. You can see there's the pack behind. They're already up to speed. They're going to be flying by these guys up ahead. But Fensler, Earhart, looks like also James Loveland and Dylan Walterman are going to be the 4 out ahead. I think they're going to be the 4 that's going to be able to latch onto this group.
Oh, but look how far those cars are ahead. You get too far ahead, you kind of slow down with all that open air in front of you. As we see the 25 kind of get up to the bumper of the 5, but he's not going to push him at all. He's just going to go around him. Definitely 3 cars are stronger than 1, but a huge pack coming up behind him. Again, pit stops stretching out this field a little bit, but Jason Fensler, he led coming out of the pit stops, but that kind of was his curse because he lost that draft and got kind of swallowed up by the other cars behind him right now. But that other pack gaining. Robert Rader up to 5th. He led the first pack down about 7-8 laps ago. So here we are. We see the top 3 cars of the pack right now, but they are single file behind them after those green flag restarts.
I tell you what, it's going to be 8 to go and they cross the line. That pack there behind, they're getting a big draft off the 5 ahead of them and the 99. It's going to be a big run when Rader gets to Fensler. Maybe if Fensler can stay ahead, he can ride that wave past the top 3. Because I tell you what, when they get there, it's all going to scatter from there as the group right now of cars. I believe we're going to have about 12 to 15 cars here for this battle down to the end.
And you got to be careful. The 84 is a lapped car. I mean, we are single file, but looks like the 99 of Dylan Walterman's going to make it 2 lanes again, and he's going to have some company. The 5 of Jason Fensler, the 53 Robert Rader, 6 of Mark Whitley. He got into an incident earlier. It looks like he's repaired some of that damage. They all jumped out to that outside lane, leaving the 25 and the 56 all high and dry, but Whitley dives down inside lane. Looks like the 99 Dylan Walterman still getting a good push from the 5 down the backstretch. So these guys side by side, not taking them long to get all sorts situated.
Yeah, I tell you what, that group stuck together for a bit. They left Trevor Earhart and James Loveland out the drive with Walterman jumping up there. But Whitley, I was thinking, who's going to be the first one to jump down there and take advantage of that bottom lane? It was Whitley and Catrone. They jumped down there, help out the 25 and the 56 now, side by side, as we're going to be coming to 7 laps to go. Walterman was our winner of stage number 1. He's racing our season champion from last season to season number 4, Trevor Earhart. It's going to be a wild battle here. The final 7 laps, they make contact. Major collision. They're wrecking here. Finally, for the first time tonight, we're going to see a caution as they wreck in turn 1.
And the big one strikes with 7 to go at Talladega, fighting for the lead. A couple of cars got close, trying to side draft, coming out of 2, created some contact, and here we are. The first caution all night for incident as we watch some tore up cars. Looks like the 33 of Justin Stunner trying to limp their way down to pit road as we go to the Freaky Fast Broadcasting instant replay. See what happened here. So we are looking at the 53 of Robert Rader. Looks like it's the replay of the start of the race. So maybe we're not going to get to see the incident, but you saw it here live on Freaky Fast. There was some major issues at the front of that pack, and they just swallowed everyone up after that.
Yeah, it definitely was wild here, as you can see now on the replay. Looks like Loveland maybe into the rear bumper of Earhart, shoots him on the racetrack into Finsler. And from there, it all just transpires. Everybody wrecking. It looks like the 44 of Ray Lane. Raider also involved. The 48 of Parker Johnston. Many guys involved. Justin Stunner, major damages. Loveland makes it out of it. Whitley makes it out. And Trevor Earhart there third with Finsler in fourth. Yeah, we definitely have some damaged cars up there now. As Finsler's got a good bit, so does Trevor Earhart. But man, I tell you what, that was a wild caution there. And this caution right here is going to put us into an interesting scenario here now. Also, these guys are going to be probably wanting to save some fuel because if we get another caution after that, we could see some green white checkers come out. And man, when that starts happening, they're going to have to start worrying about fuel, especially for guys who only put a certain amount just to make it to the scheduled distance. You know, maybe if you added some extra just to make sure and have a little bit of insurance. But I tell you what, some drivers are definitely going to be worried. As I think, yeah, you're seeing some pull off. Trevor Earhart, he's going to lead him down. Jason Finsler also, as Walterman, the 23 of Stiers, all of them hit pit road here to come get that fast repair. I think fix these cars up for one final dash down to the end. And I tell you what, have you ever seen traffic jam on a Wednesday? It's going to be a huge traffic jam here in a moment when we take this green.
And it is going to be wild. Some of these cars haven't been up in the front. James Loveland looks like he was able to get out of it. He is currently leading the field. Mark Whitley, we documented him having some damage earlier in the race, but he has recovered from that nicely. James Catrone, he started a little iffy out in the race. Find himself in third, and there's David Buell in fourth. So a lot of these guys not used to being up front, so this restart's going to get really crazy really quick.
Yeah, this is going to definitely shake some things up here. John Magner's made his way up there. Great stuff for him. Eddie Woodruff, Nick Alves. Haven't talked much about him tonight. Matt Jobe, also Douglas Wolcott. This is going to give a chance for a lot of guys who had lost the draft, had fell back. They didn't get involved in that incident. They jumped everybody that was involved in that incident. Now they have track position here, and they're going to have a few laps to get it done. You know, Loveland, he did suffer some contact from that hit there with his teammate Trevor Earhart. I'll tell you what, it's not the worst damage I've ever seen on the right front, but that is going to hurt his race car just a little bit for his speed. But when you look back behind him, you got Mark Whitley, who's had damage all night on the front and the rear of his car, so he's done a good job to make it last. That Catrone in third, he's got a little damage. Buell's got damage. First car untouched so far in that top group of top five. That's the 15 of John Magna there, the pit stop picks car. He's going to be looking to possibly pull off a win here tonight. You never know. That would be a heck of a story, as he definitely would have a little bit of an underdog story for sure.
And definitely, and Talladega is great for those. So always fun to see, some of these cars get into the lead and kind of mix it up with the leaders and the normal fast cars. But man, I would say a good half of the field has some kind of damage at this point. And with James Loveland having that damage on the front end, I feel like that's going to really hinder not only the speed of that car, but quite possibly the handling as well. And we know later on in the run, these cars get really slick, and most of these guys haven't taken tires. It was fuel only just to get to the end. So definitely going to be a interesting, really looks like we're probably going to go 4 laps here at green. So, man, hold on to your seats because it is about to get really, really wild.
Yeah, Carl, it's about to get cranked up to 11 here. We thought stage 2's ending was crazy. We thought stage 1's ending was crazy. I mean, we had a photo finish, a dead even heat here in iRacing that was given to Mark Whitley. And, man, I cannot wait to see what we pull off here as the pace car lights turn off. We're going to have one final pace lap here before we take this green flag for possibly the final time tonight, but we're still within regulation. We could see that green white checker coming.
And, that green-white checkered, never know what can happen. Again, another yellow stretching the race. Some of these guys are already on fuel strategy. So, again, maybe those guys that kind of stretch it out were looking really good and looking smart, like Trevor Earhart and Jason Finsler, but right now not looking so good if they still are kind of worried about that fuel level. They want to keep it green and keep it going. So again, that green white checkered and that all famous caution late race, you never know what can happen. A lot of these guys hoping it goes green, but you never know.
Oh, it's going to be a wild one nonetheless to say. Thank you all for tuning in. It's been a special night up here at Freaky Fast Broadcasting. This is the final Underdog Racing League race of the 2021 year. And as we head into 2022, it's going to be a special year here at Freaky Fast Broadcasting. But I just want to say thank you to everybody who's tuned in, has helped out, liked, commented, just been a part of everything here at Freaky Fast Broadcasting in the past here in 2021. It's been one of the best years of my definite life. And, I cannot wait to see what the future holds here at Freaky Fast Broadcasting as we head into 2022. But man, what a race we got to close out 2021 here, as we got Talladega here for the Twisted Metal 213 here at the Underdog Racing League. It's been a wild race up to this point, as we're going to have James Loveland, winner from last season multiple times, try to put himself into victory lane to start off this season. Whitley going to be on the outside, a newcomer here to the league. James Catrone also third, a newcomer to the league. Let's see who's able to pull it off here tonight for the Twisted Metal 213. Pace truck is in this time. James Loveland going to drive us down to that restart zone. Barney, the flag man, he's anxiously waiting for the green flag to be thrown. We're waiting for it here as they roll into that zone. The 56 of Loveland going to be on the gas as the green flag waves here as he heads across the line. Great start for him, but sometimes that good start here at Talladega can be your worst enemy. Let's see what Whitley does here as he works the top lane with Catrone side by side.
And that great start is dangerous. We saw on the restart for stage 3 that it can be a little treacherous with someone getting really behind you, but it looks like he was able to keep the lead and single file for about 4 cars behind him. But the 38 looking to the outside, the 6 of Mark Whitley going to fill that gap. But here we are 3 wide. Here down the backstretch with the 26 and the 24 on the outside, the 38 and the 15 kind of stuck in the middle. Not a lot of momentum in either of those lanes, as the inside lane has the momentum and they start pulling away.
Inside lane, first 4 cars single file, then 3 by 3 by 3 as you look through back of the pack. It's going to be 2 to go here. James Loveland out front, Mark Whitley in second, David Buell up the third as the outside in the middle lane try to go forward. It's traffic jam on a Wednesday night.
And a lot of these cars we're seeing have some damage on the rear end, have some damage on the front end. So a lot of these guys have their hands full. But that 38 side drafting the 52 of David Buell, Mark Whitley jumping up to the that middle line in front of James Cotrain of the 38s, and he's has a little bit of a head of steam. He gathers up that outside line of the 26, stalls that out, dives back down to the inside line. So he is playing blocker 3 by 3 traffic jam here at Talladega.
What a move from Mark Whitley. He won stage number 1. What a lap down after stage 2. He's back out front. He threw one heck of a block there to stop the momentum. You're going to see as he runs through the triangle here, you're going to see the freaky fast white flag here tonight. 1 to go here at Talladega for the Twisted Metal 213. It's Mark Whitley out front. If you want to be a part of our white flag, hit us up on our social medias there. Side by side, a wrecking behind everybody into each other. Giant wreck here in turn 1 as they continue on. It's the first 5 cars side by side. It looks like a single file line. Loveland in second, Buell third as they continue to wreck down in 1 and 2. The leaders up front, Mark Whitley, he's going to be under attack.
And here they are, all single file. David Buell trying to make something happen on that outside line, gathering up the 26 of James Coltrane. I'm sorry, the 26 of Eddie Wildermuth, but looks like not going to have enough speed as 38 of Coltrane goes down below him. But here we are, the 56, James Loveland, tries to go to the outside. Oh, getting a little bit of contact at the corner. James Loveland go to the inside. Here we are, the 52 of David Buell. The 26 giving a shove there. 56 trying to find a way around the 6. 6 goes to block the high side, and we have the checkered flag out. Mark Whitley looks to win the season opener here at the Underdog Racing League in spectacular fashion.
Oh man, I tell you, Mark Whitley definitely throwing a blocker through there to hold that one off, but a great win nonetheless. I tell you, Loveland, he could have definitely had a few there that Mark Whitley might not have recovered from, but he lives on the fight another day. Whitley bringing home the win. Loveland second, Buell third, Wildermuth fourth, and Catrone fifth. As we had a huge record down at 1 and 2, but Whitley able to survive. What a lap down in the second stage after winning stage 1. I mean, what a drive here, what a performance, and what a debut here at the Underdog Racing League. What a way to start out the season. He's definitely going to be a threat to be watched here as we continue throughout the season.
And always definitely interesting. Take whatever you see at Talladega with a grain of salt, but he charged forward. He definitely took control, won the first stage, had some incidents, came back. He's going to be one to watch for the season, like you said, Saxon. As we watch him, he's going to go burn it down, giving that car another little dent, but it doesn't matter. Race is over. Donuts for the 6 of Mark Whitley.
What a job by Mark Willis. He celebrates on the front straightaway here tonight for the season opener for season 5 of the Underdog Racing League. Thank you all for tuning in here tonight. We're going to find our top 3 drivers here and have a quick chat with them here in a few moments. We'll be right back, everyone, as we compile our podium. And we are back here, everybody, for our post-race interviews of tonight's Twisted Metal 213. Man, what a crazy race we had here for the season opener in Talladega. And our third place man is David Boyle in the 52 machine. Let's hear about his wild night up here at Talladega. Hey, David, it's Zach up in the booth. You got a copy, man?
Yes, sir, I do. How you doing?
I am doing fantastic, David. Well, I tell you what, man, congrats on the top 3 finish here tonight. Big run there for yourself for sure. You sat on pole here actually at Talladega last season. Now, how's it feel to come back here, man, and get a top 3 to kick off this season? Definitely with some momentum.
Very lucky. Very lucky.
It definitely was a wild race. We've seen 3 wide action for majority of it and 2 wide action for the whole time. Take us through it. How wild was this race from the in-car seat? And, coming down to the end, you even had a big run there and a shot there as the front 2 kind of were scrabbling with each other.
Well, Eddie had committed to working with me, so I was like, I'm just going to stay up high and let him push me. But I kept dropping back to the back because it was a crazy 3 wide race and a lot of good driving. It was probably one of our better restrictor plate tracks.
I tell you, man, I definitely think so for sure. This was one show for the books for sure. You guys put on that for us, man. Thank you so much for that, David, and congrats on third. But before I let you get out of here, man, and get ready for next week at Homestead, anybody want to send a shout out to, man?
Oh, yeah, you guys up in the booth, y'all do a great job calling the race. And, of course, Eddie for committing to me at the end to push me. So that's about it. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you very much, David. You have a great night, man, and we will catch you next week at Homestead.
Sound good, you guys. Have a good one.
All right, everybody. That was your third place driver of David Buell in the 52. Great start for his season here. The top 3 finishes. We moved to James Loveland. Man, so close coming up to the end. Wasn't able to get around Mark Whitley there coming down to the end. But let's hear from the 56 machine here about his run tonight. Hey, James, it's Zach up in the booth. You got a copy, man.
Yeah, I got you guys.
Well, man, I tell you what, just coming up a little bit short here tonight, but a second place run, a great way to start out the season for you in the 56, man. A wild race. I mean, that one was definitely one I feel like getting second, and you'll probably be relieved that you made it out alive.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with the second place. Was a little worried at the end of there. I had a little damage on the right side from the last caution, but no, it ended up working out really well for me, and I'm glad to take second. That was a fun battle at the end there.
Yeah, man, I tell you what, it was definitely a fun battle to watch for us up in the booth, man. Like you said, you did a great job with that damage, able to make it down to the end after that contact between you and your teammate Trevor Earhart at that wreck there that brought out that yellow. I mean, man, what a crazy race here tonight. The 3-wide action, I mean, this car really put on a show. I mean, just describe to us how big was the energy and the runs you can make, because we've seen guys dicing left and right, doing big things that we don't usually see sometimes.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. We were sweating there even at the end of stage 2. Just people going 3 wide, making crazy moves. I felt like the top had a little bit of advantage if you wanted to get track position, but yeah, it was it was pretty wild. I can't believe I survived it. I just don't know how I did.
Well, man, you definitely were able to pull that off. Next week, we head off to Homestead. Great momentum to carry into there. And we've seen, the mile and a half is definitely your strong suit for you in this Xfinity car and the tire where Homestead, I think that'll be a good case there. How you feel about heading off into Homestead, man?
Yeah, pretty good. Love that track. Definitely in the Xfinity cars too. So look forward to that race and try to get another solid finish, maybe another top 3.
Well, James, I tell you what, man, it's going to be fun to watch you guys battle it out next week at Homestead after tonight here at Talladega. Congrats on another top 3 finish here with second tonight. Before we let you go, man, anybody will send a shout out to?
Yeah, shout out to you guys as always for the great broadcasts. Shout out to the league for an incredible night. And yeah.
Well, awesome stuff, buddy. You have a great night, and we will catch you next week at Homestead.
Yep. Thank you, guys.
All right, everybody. That was your second place driver of James Loveland here tonight at Freaky Fast Broadcasting in the Underdog Race League here at Talladega Super Speedway. Cut up just a little bit short because it's the man of the hour here tonight. It's Mark Whitley in his debut here at the Underdog Racing League. He's 1 for 1 here as he has got the checkered flag. Let's hear from Mark Whitley himself, the man who, I tell you, he just goes out here and gets the race victories at all our league broadcasts. So let's talk to the 6 machine. Hey, Mark, it's Zach up in the booth. You got a copy, buddy?
Gotcha.
Well, man, great debut for yourself, buddy. I tell you what, not the easiest debut either. You come out here, you get a little damage to start the race. You win stage 1 by a complete tie of the timing scoring. You get that stage, you go lap down, and the next one you come back and win. I mean, that had to be a roller coaster of a night. And man, this package was just wild nonetheless too, with how much racing action we see.
Oh yeah, I don't know what iRacing did, but they finally fixed the super speedways. This was the most fun I had in a couple of years on super speedways, because I don't know what they had done, but they had messed it up and it was just kind of boring. But this was fun the whole night. I mean, the whole pretty much race, we were 2 by 2 by 2, and yeah, that initial start, I don't know what happened. If whoever was leading the back almost got turned, and I got checked up and got right into the back of a little bit, but you can't really help it. I mean, it was just a accordion effect, and didn't hurt the car too much, honestly. I was actually kind of surprised when I looked at the replay. And I'm like, oh wow, the rear end actually had a decent amount of damage. But I made a move for the stage win. I really didn't mean to make. I was trying to go to the bottom, but when I made the move, the guy that had a run, and if I'd have come down, I'd have wrecked the whole field. So I just decided to try to stick it in the middle and got a run, and somehow managed to pass the guy on the lead and got the stage. That wasn't really what I was going for, but it worked out. And then the second stage, when we went a lap down, I was just in the middle, kind of in the middle of the pack toward the front, and I think I saw the 2 look like he was going to get turned into the wall. And I have so much PTSD from running with no fast repair lately. I just yanked it left, almost went to the inside wall trying to get away, and they got it all sorted out, and I couldn't get back on track safely. So I just kind of hit the brake and just kind of rode around the rest of the stage. And I tried to outsmart it, maybe trying to bit before the stage and maybe come out the lead, but I lost too much time with no draft and got a lap down. Thankfully, we were the only car lap down, so got the lucky dog back and just kind of worked our way through the field thanks to my teammates helping me work through there. I know they don't run in this league, but they were helping me on the spot, and so I appreciate them helping. And on that last restart, I got out to the lead, did some blocking. It's probably the most aggressive I've been on blocking in a long time, and it just kind of worked out. And took the middle lane, took the lead. The outside lane came, blocked them, went down to the bottom, and just kind of stayed there. And there was a big wreck on the last lap, so I knew I just had to keep the car behind me, and not let him get a run. And credit goes to him, and me throwing the blocks. I mean, so many times people throw those kind of blocks and you get hooked, and it's just a mess. But it worked out pretty good for us, and it's a pretty good way to start a I guess finish the year off and start the season off with a win. When a new league, these guys are pretty good. Come out here and run with.
Oh, definitely so, man. It's gonna be fun to see, especially in this Xfinity car, how you can perform, man. It's been fun to watch your debut here tonight. Let's talk a little bit about next week, man. Homestead. It's definitely going to be the first, I'd say, true test of the schedule here with the mile and a half. And I mean, we got a wicked schedule after that. But man, how you feel about going into that mile and a half here in this Xfinity car? How much experience do you got, and what can you expect?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna love Homestead. To me, has been a pretty good track, and especially I love these Xfinity. These are probably my favorite oval cars to drive right now. They got power. They got more power than trucks, and they still handle pretty good. So they're not flat footing it like a lot of the Cup cars are now. So I feel like it really brings out the top drivers always up front. And I'm hoping we're gonna find out. Super Speedway is one thing, mile and a half is another. That's a whole different skill set. So we're gonna find out where I stack up with these rest of these guys. I know there's a bunch of fast guys in here, so just going to go out there and give it the best I can, and maybe make it 2 in a row.
Well, man, it'll be a feat to see for sure next week at Homestead. But congrats on the win. Great way to start off your career here at the Underdog Racing League. And like you said, too, great way to end the year for yourself, man. So congrats on the win, Mark. Before we let you get out here and go celebrate, buddy, and get ready for the New Year's, anybody want to send a shout to, man?
Give a couple shout outs. Harpoon Design, this wonderful paint scheme. Check him out, harpoondesign.com, so he can make you a custom one, or he's also got a bunch on trading paints. Hit him up. He does amazing work. And then also got to thank another newer sponsor on the car, Angry Duck Graphics. They have a shop. You go to their website, shopangryduck.com. There's a good thing about them. If you want to make a t-shirt, they'll make a t-shirt for you. There's no order limits. You can order just one t-shirt if you want. So you just go in there, make you a custom t-shirt, and go ahead and get you one. No order limits. That's shopangryduck.com.
Well,
and
Mark, that's it. Oh, sorry, buddy.
You're good. Sorry, I was just trying to make sure I got everything good. And just shout out my family, always tuning in. They're always great. And then y'all putting on a great broadcast. Should be fun to go back and watch. Probably this should actually be good to go back and watch. Most of the Super Speedway lately haven't been. And then quick shout out to the league. This is probably one of the best Super Speedway races I've ever been in. So thank everybody out there. They were awesome.
Yeah, definitely, man. It was one for the books for sure. Congrats on the win, Mark. We'll see you next time out here at Homestead, man. Congrats again, like I said, and we'll see you at Homestead, buddy.
All right, take it easy, Zach.
All right, everybody. That was your race winner here tonight for the Twisted Metal 213 at the Talladega Super Speedway, and that is Mark Whitley in the Six Machine in his debut. And what a debut it was for him as he's able to pull home that checkered flag, as we're going to be looking to bring our race results up here to see where your favorite drivers were able to finish this tonight's 80 laps here at the Talladega Super Speedway. And like Mark said, one of the best Super Speedway races I've not only I imagine as a driver, but as a commentator too. That was great, hard fought battles and great hard action that really did bring out other than one caution tonight. So you got to congrats these guys on that. But here again, like I said, is the race results here for tonight for season opener. Mark Whitley able to bring home that first position. Second's going to go to James Loveland. Third's going to be David Burwell. Fourth's going to go to Eddie Wilderma. Fifth's going to be James Catrone. Sixth, John Magner. Seventh, Peyton Presley. Eighth's Ray Lane. Ninth's going to be Matt Job. And rounding out that freaky fast top 10 is Christopher Heights in the 21 machine. As we look through the rest of the field, definitely some drivers that got caught out in a few incidents, like the 53 of Robert Rader there was leading and felt like he was in a good spot there. 22nd tonight. Joey Steers back in 15th. It is definitely a tough racetrack here tonight for a few guys, but they're going to be looking happy to go to Homestead next week where they can see if they can rebound and climb up those point standings. But man, Carl, couldn't ask for much better of a plate race, especially at Talladega, a track like this with a Xfinity car. But I think we got what we deserve for sure here, Freaky Fast.
That was definitely a fantastic race, and just the rest of the season is just going to match, if not exceed that, because these guys are excited, and these guys are just awesome at what they do, and they're just really fun to watch. So the rest of the season, everyone, you tune in Wednesday nights, and you guys are going to watch some amazing racing.
Yeah, I couldn't have said it better myself, Carl, man. You know, they tuned in here. They're going to get this type of action week in and week out. Again, thank you all for tuning in here tonight. It's been a special one here at Talladega, the last one of the 2021 year for Wednesday night. But don't forget, tomorrow night will also be live for our last 2021 race of the year at the Stars and Stripes League. So make sure you tune in there tomorrow night here on Freaky Fast Broadcasting, where they're going to be bringing that action to us. As tonight was wild, wild, wild. Is pretty much all I can add to it here at Talladega. It was a pleasure to call and a great season opener here for the Underdog Racing League. As we send it up to our producer, Robert Moyer Jr., to close out tonight's broadcast and tell everybody what's going down in the future.
All right. Well, thank you, gentlemen, for tuning in. We do much appreciate it. Give me 1 second. I need to fix my audio, Zach. Zach, take over a minute.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, so we appreciate y'all all for tuning in for sure. It's been a special, like I said, 2021. We couldn't have asked for a much better time to be here calling this action in 2021, and now in 2022, it's going to be even bigger as we send it back up to Robert.
All right. Thank you, Zach. Sorry I had an echo going on. I was working on audio. So, anyways, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in here tonight at Freaky Fast Broadcasting with the Underdog Racing League. As Zach was noting and Carl said, this is it. As for the 2021 season with these guys, it's been one heck of a battle all year. We watched these guys all year, basically, everybody. We've been with this league for almost a year now, so it's been a great ride with them, and it's great to see the league grow and the action pack getting faster. Drivers just battling and beating and banging and really showing on some good racing. So with that being said, make sure you subscribe to Freaky Fast Broadcasting so you don't miss any of this action on Wednesday night. We do much appreciate that, and also hit that share button and share it to your friends. Social media platform of your choosing, doesn't matter. It's up to you. You can do it however you want, but just get it out there and let everybody know about the family who you're rooting for here, or just share it in general. They would do much appreciate that. If you're looking at joining this league, make sure you go over and check out Underdog Racing League on iRacing's league page. You can check them out there on iRacing.com. And or go to their Facebook platform and shoot them a message and tell them that you're interested in joining. But with that being said, we're done here tonight at Talladega. Oh my goodness gracious, man! These Xfinity cars put on one well of an action. We've seen 3x3x3 all the way back through for the battle for each stage. We've seen it for the win. It's crazy. We've seen a big wreck and. As we see there on the replay. But yeah, it was nothing but chaos there at the end. But again, we got James Loveland, Mark Whitley, and David. Great run for David. Give him a big shout out, ladies and gentlemen. But like Zach said, tomorrow night will be our last broadcast for the 2021 season with Stars and Stripes. So make sure you tune in at 9:20 when we go live here on Freaky Fast Broadcasting and YouTube. And we much appreciate if you hop in and give a hello, give a shout out, give a share on that night too. But I really don't got much more to add. I don't know if Zach or Carl's got anything more to add here as we get ready to roll into a new season. We won't see you guys back until 2022, which is going to be weird. I'm sure I'm probably still going to call it 2021 because it takes a while to make my brain remember what year we're in when we switch it. But if not, if we don't catch you tomorrow night, we won't be live again until Monday, which will be in the new year. So we want to wish everybody, please be safe and have a happy new year. We love yous all. We thank you for the support. And I know I'm rambling on, but it's been one well of a year. And like Zach said, 2022 here, ladies and gentlemen, if you're going back and watching this replay, 2022 is it's going to be a big year for Freaky Fast. So make sure you tune in on our Facebook page and our YouTube, because we got some big announcements coming. We got big things coming, and I don't want anybody to miss out on it. But with that being said, we are going to sign off here tonight. So we want to say here at Freaky Fast Broadcasting, as always, to everyone out there, God bless you. Love yous all. Peace out.